Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are, TSSR Game Time Live presenting the varsity side of things. And once again, Greg Phelps joined by John Burton, and we'll see, you mentioned the depth, John, and you just look at all the Havana Ducks there. A whole flock of them out there on the floor tonight. And you knew I was going to work that in somewhere, John, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Greg.
And for the Cyclones, had a rough night last night, and we'll see if they can rebound here this evening, as lost to Southeastern by about 25, so hoping they can really get things going here this evening and just get things, just couldn't hit shots, had a lot of turnovers, and really going to have to work to turn that around here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at this West Prairie roster, a 25-point loss to Southeastern is kind of surprising. But as you mentioned, just didn't really play up to a lot of their capabilities last night against Southeastern. We'll see if they can get the ship corrected here tonight against Havana. The JV squad struggled on that front, but this varsity squad plays a whole lot different than the JV team, and we'll see if West Prairie can come away with a win tonight.
And I am going to step aside and do my other thing, so if you want to tune in at home, you can.
Tonight's matchup between the Ducks of Havana and your West Prairie Cyclones! At this time, gentlemen and ladies, please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Starting line. First, the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Ducks of Havana. Number 2, Carter Brooks. Number 4, Landon Oatman. Number 12, Braden Willie. Number 13, Caden Olson. And number 21, Anthony Foster. Ducks are coached by Tyler Southwood, assisted by Craig Balls and Troy Okerson. Excuse me. Boys and girls, children of all ages,
Johnny.
You think after all these years, you start to look a little bit of tolerance for that, you think?
Getting too old. Not enough practice, Al. But no, always fun to turn it loose when I can. And we'll see here the Cyclones against the Ducks. I really don't know much about the Ducks. I'll apologize for that. I know their names, at least this time I will. As we see them get started here tonight, they bring it right under the basket. Braden Copeland, layup up and in and good. And John, for how things have gone for the Cyclones, good to get a quick early bucket.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great motion offense there, and just found Copeland wide open under the basket. I thought he blew the layup there for a second, took a bit of an awkward bounce, but was able to cap it off there. Just a nice backdoor cut. Nobody within basically about 5 feet of him.
We'll get the Havana lineup for you in just a moment. Out there for the Ducks, Landon Oatman, and now with it, Carter Brooks. He'll bounce it over to Oatman, number 4, down to 21. Anthony Foster, and he'll swing it back up to Braden Willing. Right past Caden Olson and out of bounds. And they'll bring it back the other way. The Cyclones leading it here 2-0 so far. As Matt Whitman brings it up, bounces to the counter. He gets away from trouble. Kick out to Olson in the corner. And he'll bounce it up on the pass to Whitman. High 1-4 motion set. As comes to the counter. Bouncing to Clark. Ryan Clark, we're going to go inside, out to Copeland. 2-0 West Prairie. Copeland in the lane, a little too hard off the backboard, gets his own rebound. In a little trouble, turnaround Jay, no good. Rebound fought for, and Olson pulls it down to the counter, who dribbles and double dribbled with it. And that's one of those, I know Eli was trying to set up a teammate, but that's one of those you tell him on the bench, you say, hey, shoot that. You shoot that about 5-footer.
Yeah, might have a little space there to counter, but I really like that possession there for West Prairie. Did a nice job battling on the boards to be able to get themselves a few extra possessions there, and that's something the JV team really didn't do a whole lot of, was the offensive rebounding, so it's nice to see the varsity come out here and kind of get the tables turned there.
And one of the things Eli DeCounter did, always tell kids, hey, if you make a mistake on one end, get it back on the other end, and he did with the steal. Now Copeland in the lane, dumping it down to Clark, has it ripped out of there by Foster. And Willing brings it up to Foster, swinging quick. And I love how Havana moves the ball here. They're continuing that. They did that in the JV game. Swinging around everywhere. Olson bounces it a little, but loses it to Copeland, up to Olson. Ruger Olson has it swatted out of bounds. He was willing, and he was also able. And we got a timeout on the floor. 6:04, mark of this first quarter of play. 2-0. West Prairie right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Coming in for whether it's OB or just your women's health can be a very scary, kind of daunting experience. So it's nice that we have this welcoming, state-of-the-art space to bring our patients into. I think the best part of my job is being able to take care of women and just make them feel empowered and know that we're here for them, that their problems are real, that their concerns are real, and we just want to give them the best care possible. Nothing makes me feel better than when my patients tell me this is the most comfortable they've ever felt at a women's health exam.
One of the many fine sponsors here, Braden Copeland, puts it on the bounce, spins, able to go up with it, puts it up and puts it in. Braden Copeland puts the Cyclones up 4-0, but right back come the Ducks. Dare I say, flying up the floor in the hands of Landon Oatman.
And that's something that we saw the JV team for Havana. They really like to push the pace out in transition. The varsity team has kind of followed in the footsteps there, and there's really been a whole lot of Oatman. He's been speeding that ball up the far sideline.
And now Braden Copeland sets the offense here for the Cyclones. Looking for the counter, comes to Whitman instead, working the far side, pick from Olson, gets it to him, and Ruger Olson.
We got one ref call the foul and one ref called the travel, yeah.
So the travel, the down official would probably have precedent there. As they work it, Braden Willing dribbling around, wanting to wheel it over to Oatman. And the Cyclones in a little bit of a 2-3. 3 is on the way, no good by Willing, and a Ruger Olson the rebound. Cyclones will go back the other way. Matt Whitman. In there, watching Copeland go through, tried to bounce it to the counter, stolen by Brooks. Brooks Love the floater. Nice job. Put it right in, and the Ducks are on the board. 4-2. And Whitman will trigger it again. Matt Whitman bouncing over to Copeland. Copeland going to the baseline. Cut off nicely there by Oatman. Gives it to Clark. Clark gets it to stick.
That was a beautiful feed there by Braden Copeland. Just kind of side saddled that one. Was able to bounce it for cutting Clark there. Another nice play by West Prairie, able to score 2 more inside.
So 6-2, they lead it here. Holding on with it is Brooks. Brooks, a bounce pass over Willing. Willing swinging it over to Caden Olson. Olson out on the outside, wide open tray. Missed it though by Foster. And Ryan Clark the rebound. And Havana matched up man on man. Matt Whitman looking to dribble. Bounces up to Olson. Ruger Olson over to Copeland. Copeland, everybody after him. Double teamed in the lane, but slides through. Yes! And it counts.
Just another great move there by Braden Copeland. It drew 2 defenders and just spun right in between them. Took a little bit of contact there, but is still able to convert the layup, and he'll go to the line to try to cap off this 3-point play. And again, we've been watching Copeland now here for a couple years, and the way that he's just matured now just in his sophomore season, it has just been really impressive, and just a great move there to the rim for Copeland.
8-2 right now as he sets himself at the line. Free throw is up and good. 9-2 lead. And several substitutions for the Ducks. As number 20, Waylon Ash will check in. Also in there is Oscar Jones, and Stevens in there as well. Also from the JV, Turner. And Turner splits the press right down the lane, kick out in the corner. Jones 3, nope, no good. And Stevens aboard. Back to him, he'll shoot a 7 or 8 footer, no good. Turner the rebound. And they continue to work, flip it out to Ash. Ash 3 on the way. And gets his own rebound. What's that, like 3 offensive rebounds in a row, I believe. Jones thought about it. And now Turner, the driving in the lane, wheeling it up, shoots it and sticks it. As Jack Turner, a freshman, makes it a 9-4 lead for West Prairie. Copeland with it, 3 on the way, right back with a sports corner 3. And I tell you what, Johnny, we're going to have a track meet tonight. Turner 3 on the way, no good. Whitman with the rebound. And with 2:50 left to go here in this first quarter, Ryan Clark with it down the lane. He'll get fouled. But, John, the pace, definitely a quick pace set so far.
Yeah, both these teams are getting up and down the court in a hurry. And, again, we saw some of that in the JV game, especially out of Havana. But now West Prairie able to match that here in the varsity contest.
The counter with it out to Copeland. Quick 3 on the way, no good. Clark gets the rebound, pushing his way in. Shoot shot and got it. And I think you are next to the Ryan Clark fan section.
Yes, I am. That is for sure.
Stevens whipping it out for Brooks. Brooks getting a pick from Turner. He'll put up a quick 3. Got it. Sports corner 3 by the Ducks. The Quack attack makes it 14-7. Touchdown lead for the Cyclones. And right back comes Clark. He'll go in, put it up and under and good. 16-7. Oscar Jones back to Turner. Turner waiting. He wanted to come near side court to Ash, but couldn't. And now 5-second call. I knew that was coming. And when you've got young guys like that, John, you got to have that internal clock going on in your head.
Yeah, but West Prairie did a nice job of extending the pressure out there. They were able to get right up in the chest of the ball handler and just force that 5-second violation there. West Prairie defense has looked really, really good here to start the first quarter.
Whitman blowing by everybody, missed the lay-in. The rebound tipped out of bounds, and it'll go to Havana. Matt Whitman crashing his way in there. They'll bounce it. It'll come from Brooks. 1:40 left to go here in this first quarter, which has been a super super fast first quarter. Jones holds it out top to Brooks. Brooks gives a look at Ash. To Turner. Turner looking for Stevens. Couldn't get him on the backdoor cut. Brooks instead dribbling in. Shot no good, and Ruger Olson a rebound. Out to Braden Copeland. Copeland to Matt Whitman. Whitman holds and puts it on the bounce. Up to Olson. Three no good. Rebound. Chased it down. Got his own rebound. And the Cyclones will reload with a minute left in the first quarter. Clark on the setup for the pick. Copeland chased by three guys, and Shawnee got it anyway.
Yeah, beautiful move there by Copeland. He's up to 12 points now in the game for West Prairie.
And Ash coming right back. Jones with it to Turner. Boy, he had Stevens cutting across there. Now Stevens throws it over the head of Ash and out of bounds. And we'll have more substitution. Caden Olson will come back in. And you wonder if this may be a little bit of Havana's tactic, is to maybe wear the Cyclones down a little bit, because they've rotated a lot of guys back and forth. And we've got a timeout called here. 18-7 lead here for the Cyclones. We'll step aside on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by NBH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And one of the other fine folks we want to thank are the folks at JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in. You can watch all the TSSR Game Time Live events on their big screens. JoJo's, 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. And also MTC Communications, having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2025. MTC, after Copeland throws it away, offers lightning fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera system, McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Turner working it now, 20 seconds left as they go to work here. Out to Jones, he'll put up the three, good!
Nice deep three there by Jones, able to knock that one home, and we know Havana can start knocking out shots in a hurry. West Prairie got to do a better job stepping out there.
Copeland three at the corner, nope. Rolls off, no good, 18-10. The lead for the Cyclones at the end of one, and we'll see if the Ducks can come back. We'll see if Cyclones can hold on. We'll do that coming up in the second quarter right here on TSSR Game Time Line, presented by MBH. And we're back here, 18-10, as we head to the second quarter of play. And glad you're alongside for TSSR Game Time Live action. Ducks will start it with it in the second quarter. It is Turner, Jones, joined by Willing. Also out there with them is Olson and Foster. Olson with it now. He'll put it on the floor, guarded by Clark. West Prairie man on man. Turner in the lane, lost the handle, and Clark scoops it up. Matt Whitman will lead the charge there. Into the lane he goes, lays it up, can't get it to go. DeCounter had the rebound for a moment, but tipped out of his hands, and it'll stay with the Cyclones. Copeland looking to trigger it in. Waits, holds, lobs it into DeCounter. DeCounter back to Copeland. Guarded by Turner, out to Whitman. Whitman holding on out there. He'll put it back to Copeland. Copeland looking to drive, sweeps in, missed it, and Jones out of there with the rebound. Jones attacked in the backcourt, picked up his dribble, and now has to wait for Willing to come get it. And he nearly has it picked away over to Foster, crashes in, and Clark tried to recover it in but couldn't get it. Both these defenses very active so far, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick hands, a lot of movement, and there's a lot of young guys out here. They're really getting out there, showing a lot of passion on the defensive end. It's nice to see, chasing folks around.
And we've got a foul over the back as Foster came over and got the hand of Ruger Olson as he got the rebound. And now Matt Whitman brings it along as Copeland cuts through, and Turner is right in his hip pocket. The counter with it, out to Copeland. Back to the counter down the lane, shoots shot, gets it to go. 20-10, Cyclones up to double digits on the lead, 6.5 left in the first half. Turner out with it, over to Jones. Jones comes out top to Foster on the pass, down underneath for Jones. He'll put it up and put it in. Good back cut there by Jones. They're so worried about his three-point shot. John was able to capitalize.
Yeah, absolutely. Just had Copeland on his back there, and a nice pass to find Jones under the basket. Able to convert two down low. Here's an offensive rebound and put back by Ryan Clark.
And those are the things that Ryan Clark does. You know he's playing well when he does that. Willing to the baseline, up to Turner. Turner coming lane on Matt Whitman. Out to Foster, down in the corner to Olson. Cut off nicely by Clark. To Jones. Jones 15-footer, a little flat, won't go. And the counters out of there with the board. 5:45, clock rolling here. 10-point Cyclone advantage. Eli to counter, drives the baseline to Olson. Olson, three on the way, no good. Rebound, Whitman tried to put it up, couldn't get it to go. Fight for it, and got a foul as they knock Olson over. That'll be on Turner. And on Turner, just his first minute, pretty cleanly played first half, John.
Yeah, I know a lot of fouls between the first quarter and now with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the second. And we kind of saw that in the JV game too. This referee crew is not very quick on the whistle, but as long as you're consistent, I guess that doesn't matter.
There you go. Whitman on the far side. Holmes tries to get it to Clark. Clark, nice job tapping it back to him. To Copeland, down to the counter. The counter trying to work his way in, puts it up and puts it in. And those, you know when things are going well, right back the other way. Three by Landon Oatman. And Coach Conkling, boy, it wasn't up and off the bench, John. You call that timeout.
Yeah, and in the first quarter when Oatman was in the game, the Cyclones were kind of running a box and one set with Whitman tracking him throughout the possessions, but right there just lost him on the fast break. And you can see when you're not up in Oatman's grill denying that pass, if he's able to catch and shoot, he's going to knock that one down.
Do want to thank more of the fine folks making this possible, including McDonough Telephone Cooperative, sponsor of our West Prairie game stream. Buffering means suffering, so kick slow Wi-Fi to the curb. Connect your home with MTC's fiber internet. Get blazing fast Wi-Fi with speeds up to 1 gig. Sign up online at mtcfiber.net. Your farm is your legacy. It's the leading farm insurer. Country Financial here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Pawn Plus, proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus, the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms, and they also provide on-site jewelry repairs, open 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. Great selection of jewelries, electronics, tools, and video games located in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. See Smilin' John, and he'll set you up with the best deal in town, right?
Something like that for sure.
Cyclones turn it over here with 4.5 kicks left on the clock. 24-15, the lead down 9. Olson trying to steal it away. from Olson. And getting Olson with the reach in. They'll bring it in, look in the corner. Oatman, somebody lost him in the corner. Nearly paid the price, and the rebound tipped up and taken away quickly. The three-pointer on the way, no good. Jones the rebound. He missed it, and Ryan Clark finally out of there with the rebound.
West Prairie lucky there, holding their breath. Havana had a lot of good looks there at the basket, just wasn't able to capitalize.
Copeland, three on the way. It is no good. Oatman. And that's going to be a foul on Braden Copeland, as he came in and banged into Oatman as he was trying to get the rebound. And that's 2 on Copeland. Something to watch in the later stages of this first half. Walking it up is Brooks. He'll give it off to Oatman, swinging to Foster, quickly to Jones. Wheeling around out top there, 3 on the way. It is good by Olson. A sports corner 3 for Olson, and it's 24-18.
Havana does a nice job answering here in the second half here of the second quarter. West Prairie's got to find a way to kind of slow down this momentum, and Havana, as we kind of saw in the JV game, they started knocking down jump shots now, and they've been able to pull back a lot closer here to the Cyclones.
Whitman turns it over, back with it the Ducks. They going to work here, and a throwaway. Oatman threw it away. Copeland in the lane, shot up, no good. And the rebound, Ruger Olson bounces it out. Fight for it on the floor. Who has it? Who has it? And a travel as Olson was trying to stand up.
Cyclones fans not happy with that one. I think they either wanted a foul or a jump ball called there on that tie-up under the basket.
A lot of big scrum going on there. Jones to Oatman. Oatman pulls up, chucks the 3, rolls in and good, and it's a 3-point lead for West Prairie. And that is a 7-0 run by the Ducks. As Copeland going back to work down in the corner, spins it out of there to Ruger Olson. Olson going to get it to DeCounter. DeCounter trying to work in on Foster. Out to Matt Whitman with 2.5 left to go here in this first half. Whitman in the lane will go up, lay it up, won't go, and the rebound snapped up by Havana. Here they come on the run. And a nice job of Brooks with kind of the head fake, got DeCounter. Kind of got him tripping up a little bit there. To 24-21. West Prairie had led by 10, and now here comes Havana. And John, you and I mentioned it. When they get hitting those threes, they are difficult to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been able to get a couple open shots here in the second quarter. And West Prairie's got to do a better job stepping on that and rebounding as well. As you see there, DeCounter fighting for the board under the basket, and he's going to pick up another foul there. That's 2 quick ones on Eli DeCounter.
I'm going to say that he held on to Oatman. Olson will bring it inbounds here. Needing to get it into somebody, and finally lobs it deep to Oatman. Oatman chasing it down in the backcourt.
I should have been backcourt there. Oatman tipped that on this near side.
Yeah, they didn't catch the tip, and then Oatman 3 no good. Eli to counter the rebound. Here he comes, freight train coming. And a blocking foul whistled on Oatman. And I tell you, Eli DeCounter had a head of steam coming.
Yeah, like a freight train there rolling into the paint, and this thing's starting to get a little chippy here in Colchester. Both these teams battling hard, and you see DeCounter just knocked Oatman to the ground on that fast break.
Turner will come in. He'll replace Olson. Stevens will come in, as will Willing. Foster going out, also Jones going out. And you and I kind of wondered that John, West Prairie, maybe Tank coming down on E here. Clark with the inbounds to Copeland.
Yeah, I mean, West Prairie not working with a whole lot of subs in this contest. Strider Fuller Durham checked in for DeCounter at the end of the first quarter, and outside of that, it's been the starters for the rest of the remainder of the game.
Copeland shooting shot no good. DeCounter the rebound. Out to Whitman. Matt Whitman 3 no good. And the rebound chased down by Stevens. Off to Oatman. Up quickly there for Brooks. Passes cross court to Turner. Down in the corner and driving in. Shot no good. And I think Willing was prepared for contact instead of just going up and shooting the layup. After that, ball tipped out of bounds. It'll be Havana basketball. Minute 29 left to go here in the second quarter. 3-point lead for the Cyclones. Currently a 7-0 run by Havana. Oatman, 16-footer. It'll be bounced in. Friendly rim, and it's a 1-point lead for West Prairie. 24-23. Copeland out to the counter, gets a screen from Ruger Olson. Dribbles down, out to Copeland on the far side. And watch, John, how quickly they double him. Clark in the lane, up and in and good. 26-23, under a minute we go, 55 seconds here. John and I hardly having time to catch our breath as it's been back and forth. Into Turner in the lane. Turner dribbling down, looking to get away from trouble to Oatman. Out for Willing. Stevens in the post has it now and has it tapped away by DeCounter. DeCounter dribbling in, bounces over to Olson, fakes, Brooks out. And the Cyclones get the lead back out to 5 at 28-23.
Nice burst there by West Prairie, able to extend their lead out as Savannah was really knocking on there for a second.
Willing, 3 on the way, no good. Stevens right there for the board. Off to Turner. Turner wheels his way in, couldn't get it to go. Eli DeCounter down with the board. And the Cyclones will walk it up. 7 seconds left. Whitman got to hurry a little bit to Copeland, and it bobbled for a second. Dribbling, looking to get in the lane. Got it. Yes! And it counts at the buzzer. And so Braden Copeland will be at the free throw line, trying to make this an 8-point lead.
I think they're going to
put 1 second on the clock. Eli DeCounter going out. Jair for Durham coming in. They'll get Copeland out. Cam Melvin was coming in. Ruger Olson. Well, hey, if you can get away with it, why not?
Yeah, well, I think Tyler Southwood's going to have something to say about that. He's saying that should be a lane violation there.
And it will be Havana ball, lane violation. Braden Copeland going out as Cam Melvin comes in. We'll see what, for this last 1 second, what they come up with. Biggest thing is don't foul the shooter. Shot on the way, no good by Turner, and at the half it is 30-23, the lead for the Cyclones of West Prairie. Dwayne Hulett had a chance to talk to the fine folks from McDonough District Hospital. We'll go to that interview now.
All right, welcome to halftime here. Patrick Osterman with us, and we talk about behind-the-scenes stuff all the time. The guy running the board right now, kind of crazy.
I don't know if you could get a much higher title running the board behind the scenes of an interview at McDonough District Hospital other than our president and chief executive officer, Bill Murdoch. But we appreciate Bill helping us out.
Yeah, he's game to help with everything. I'm guessing your job has to be a little more relaxed now. He seems to be like a pretty good guy to work with.
I tell you what, Bill has done a fantastic job. You knew just how good of a person he was, having worked with him for the last 5 years prior as our chief financial officer. And when he was promoted to our chief executive officer, I was all excited about it. I think everybody in the organization was very excited about it. You talk about, do you need to do a national search? And our board of directors, I give them all the credit in the world. They listen to the staff. They listen to the community members and said, you got somebody here who knows what they're doing, is a great person, does a great job. He knows the community. He's invested in the community, and it's been a great 2024 so far, and we've got a lot of bright future, a lot of great things that we're looking ahead towards.
Well, it's nice because MDH has been so embedded in the community, right? It is always nice to have somebody at the top and throughout the system that's also embedded in what the community has to offer and needs.
Absolutely. With my job, I do a lot of community relations. I get out, talk with businesses, talk with organizations. And one of the first conversations I had with Bill when he stepped into that new role, he said, Pat, I want to get out in the community. And we've been able to do that. We've gone out and met with our regional healthcare colleagues, CEOs, just talking about what can we do together? Is there anything we can do together? Rural healthcare is tough. There's a lot of challenges we face, but if we work together, maybe play to each other's strengths, I think we can both succeed. And that's the best way that we can help serve our community, help serve the patients that we are here to serve.
Well, and improving your brand is always a good thing, right? Whether it's a hospital or TSSR Game Time Live, improving your brand is a good thing. Getting out in the community helps that, but also expanding your options helps that as well, right?
Absolutely. One of the things you always look at is clinical partnerships. If we can't get a physician here, is there another healthcare organization that we can do what we call a clinical partnership with? Blessing Health is a great example out of Quincy. They bring cardiologists up here, a pulmonologist. We have a urologist that comes up here once a week. So our patients in McDonough County, they don't have to drive down to Quincy or maybe Springfield or maybe Peoria. If we can find those clinical partnerships where they can be seen here in Macomb, it's just a win-win for everybody.
Well, last year we talked about expanding to Monmouth with you. We talked about the pharmacy. As we talked to Bill, the pharmacy is expanding, and I shouldn't say expanding, it's coming to completion. You've done great things, I think, in Monmouth. What's down the road for MDH? Are you at a point that you can talk about anything that's coming?
I think we just got to keep looking on how we can continue to grow, and that's been one of our focal points. We do strategic planning on a quarterly basis. We want to look ahead, 2-3 years down the road, but as we said, there's a lot of dynamics going on in healthcare right now. So if you get too far ahead, you kind of lose sight what could be coming right around the corner. So that's why we try to keep it more of a short term, yet still look ahead to the long term. Like we said, our biggest challenge is how can we continue to grow? We've been here for over 65 years. What can we do as an organization, as a staff, as an administration team to make sure we're still around here for 65 years and beyond?
As public relations guy for the hospital, what do you want to use this opportunity to tell the people that might be watching about MDH in 2024 that's different maybe than what they expected or saw from 2023 or before?
Well, as you just talked about, our clinical expansions, as you said, Monmouth, our MDH Monmouth Clinic, convenience clinic, sports med and rehab. We got great staff up there, and I think that's a common theme. I know Bill talks about this a lot. I 100% on board with this too. I agree 100%. I would think you'd ask any of our staff members, they would say that we got a great team right now. We do a great job working together, and I think that's how we can play to our strengths to help grow. You talked about the community pharmacy. We're excited when that starts coming online and how we can best serve our community. A lot of convenience. I think one thing that we learned from COVID, people love convenience. We got our drive-through labs, and now you got our drive-through community pharmacy. A lot of good things going on. Stay tuned. It's an exciting time right now in our organization.
Well, have some fun at baseball this weekend, okay?
We're going to have some fun. A lot of fall baseball going on as we record this right before the start of high school football season. I know we're going to have a lot of great football games. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this year.
We'll be right back with the second half right after this.
And welcome back here. Of course, this is TSSR Game Time Live. Glad you're alongside. I want to thank some more of the fine folks that bring you our broadcast, like Ryden Farm Supply, located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974. Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in this area, and as a customer, they will take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121. Pawn Plus, proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repair and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. Have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games. Located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Airco and Taco Bell. And again, do want to thank the folks at McDonough Telephone Cooperative bringing you our West Prairie game here tonight. This game stream made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. Buffering means suffering, so kick slow Wi-Fi to the curb. Connect your home with MTC's fiber internet to get blazing fast Wi-Fi with speeds up to 1 gig. Sign up online at mtcfiber.net. And John, the first half kind of been surges and ebbs, I guess you would say, as we had a big surge by West Prairie early, and then Havana really came running back. And then West Prairie got a final kick over, about that last 2 minutes?
Yeah.
To kind of get some breathing room.
Yeah, I would say so. And again, a lot of that we kind of mentioned there is just the limited amount of subs that West Prairie opts to go with there. I mean, Jair Flora-Durham checked in for basically the last about 30 seconds in the first quarter, and then there at the end with 1 second to go, West Prairie subbed a little bit. But outside of that, it's just been West Prairie starters. And again, when you're playing against a team like Havana that has that much depth, you would kind of expect it to kind of come and go in flows. And as you mentioned, West Prairie comes out the gates, they jump out to a big lead. And then as the quarters start to go on, West Prairie starts to get a little more tired. Havana, they keep those platoon swaps coming in, people rolling in and out. They're able to match up there against West Prairie and really just limit the amount of tiredness, I guess, they would feel being able to sub in and out like that. So you would expect them to kind of go on runs later in quarters, and that's kind of what they did. But it was a good burst by West Prairie there at the end of the second. Copeland into counter. DeCounter, especially down low, was able to start to get going, and Havana had this thing within 1 point there at a moment, but West Prairie again was able to jump back out and kind of re-secure a decent lead heading into the halftime break, and now we're going to come out to the fourth quarter. It's going to be a 7-point lead for West Prairie.
And coming up on Thursday night, I'll be back here. I believe Mr. Kinney will be back with me as we have the West Prairie girls taking on Illini West, and kind of fun for me. That's where a lot of my broadcasting was, with many years at WCAZ in Carthage. It'll be kind of fun to do a little girls basketball. Coming up on Thursday night is also alumni night, so all you alumnuses, or alumni as you should say it, can come in, and I know I think they're going to recognize a few. Maybe they said even if they get enough, they might even play a little game. We'll see if they do. And, of course, we'll be here coming up on Thursday night for that. We're going to take this time out. Second half on the way in just a moment. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And the West Prairie Cyclones break the huddle here. It'll be Eli DeCounter, Matt Whitman, Braden Copeland, Ryan Clark, and Ruger Olson on the floor for the Ducks. Caden Olson, also Braden Willing, Carter Brooks, Landon Oatman, and also Anthony Foster. Cyclones lob one down Clark. He misses. And the rebound pulled out of there by Caden Olson quickly to Oatman. Oatman down the lane had it kind of hit off the leg of Eli DeCounter, and then we've got a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Havana. Olson will trigger it inbounds. And Foster in the lane, tipped away by DeCounter, and he has a 3-on-3 break to Whitman. Matt Whitman, shot on the way, it's good. And John, that's really big to get Whitman going.
Yeah, absolutely. Whitman had no points there in the first half, but was able to get on the board early here in the second quarter, or the second half.
And Copeland with a steal puts it up and in quickly. The Cyclones back out by 11. As Willing comes back here, fakes the three, tried to get in, stolen by Copeland again. Lays it up and lays it in. Braden Copeland making it a 13-point lead. Big surge by the Cyclones and their largest lead of the game. That gets a timeout. We'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
It's hard to stop a train.
Back here as Ian Conkling talking to his crew there. Really big surge. And John, that was really important to get that kind of a surge coming out of the half for the Ducks. I'm sure their coach is not very happy. That is about 3 turnovers on 3 possessions. And now have dug themselves a 13-point hole with 7 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, and not only was it 3 quick turnovers, but it was 3 buckets on the other end by West Prairie. And again, we talked about West Prairie is going to have to jump out to leads here early on in these quarters, because as we start to tick through the minutes here, it's just going to be tired. As Havana with a nice answer there is, again, it's kind of going to be a battle with attrition here late, I would assume, for West Prairie.
So 36-26 cuts it back down to 11. Or down to 10, rather, as I show that I am not a mathematician. Nice pass from the counter to Clark, and he puts it in. It is 38-26. Havana right back after. Brooks fakes the three to Turner into the ball game, over to Jones. Has Oatman wide underneath, open underneath. Nice pass. And cuts it back to 10 once again. Cyclones back after it. Braden Copeland, 18 in the game here. As he dribbles down, holds, waits, nearly lost it, and then will get fouled. Foster going to pick up the personal foul. His second. He, Brooks, and Oatman have 2. As Copeland bounces into the counter. To Copeland, to Whitman. And they'll back it out and reset here as we tick down toward 6 minutes left in the third. Copeland to Clark, swinging over to Whitman. Tried to get it into Clark. Foster got it, and then Whitman lost the handle on it, out of bounds.
There's good backside defense there by the Ducks. Clark had his man kind of fronted there in the high post. Whitman was trying to throw it to him, but as mentioned, that backside defense just came swooping in, was able to force the turnover there on Whitman.
Turner at the throttle for the Ducks, drives right in and puts the one-hand floater home, down to a 8-point lead for the Cyclones, 38-30. Ebbs and flows, and here we come. That's 5 straight by Havana. The counter to Clark, to Whitman, far side, double team. Back to Clark, working on Oatman, puts it up and puts it in. Ryan Clark, big game tonight. He's got 14. And Brooks going to shoot, shot no good. Rebound to counter with it. And Foster going to give the foul over the back. That's his third. And now checking in, Stevens will check in for him. 6'3" freshman. Whitman across the near side on the dribble drive. Looking for Eli to counter, popping out top. Nice job by Havana, switching it around. And Whitman will drive, fakes, goes up, gets it to go. Good drive there by Matt Whitman. And they're back up by 12. Oatman going to challenge Copeland. Out to Stevens, and he'll get a foul on to counter on the bump. And that will be 3 on to counter. That's 4:49 mark of the third quarter. And Havana looking, gets it into Stevens. Puts it on the bounce a couple times. And gives it up to Turner. Turner looking at Oatman. Turner taking Ruger Olson. Got him up in there, couldn't do anything with it, but Oatman back to the way, and Whitman taps it off of Oatman and out of bounds.
Nice job there by Whitman, able to take a nice stab at the ball there and force a turnover. Give possession back for West Prairie. We'll see the Cyclones take a timeout here now.
And we'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It's hard to stop a train.
And the buzzer sounds in that Havana huddle. The big thing they've got to do is just a little better defense, and maybe a little better decision making on offense. Get them back in the game, John.
Yeah, and those are both things that are easier said than done, obviously. And I want to point out one thing that West Prairie has done very well in this game is working the pick and roll offense. Havana has been looking to kind of hedge out that screen where you send the screener's man out to kind of slow down the ball carrier, but West Prairie has done a nice job just staying patient there, drawing two defenders on that screen action, and then feeding the post down low and creating a mismatch. So Havana has got to figure out a way to cover for that screen and roll action that West Prairie has gone to, and you see right there exactly what we're talking about.
And Ryan Clark once again scoring there, the largest lead for West Prairie at 14. Turner up with it, shoots shot no good. And sky high for a rebound, Eli to counter. Pulls it down as Matt Whitman will bring it up. 3:55, clock rolling in this third quarter. The counter far side, gives a look to Copeland. And he passes over for Clark. Clark looking for some help. Out to Eli to counter. And the Cyclones making the Ducks work a little on defense. To Clark. He'll bounce down to the counter. Nice pass to Clark, who'll pick up a foul. And this is when West Prairie's offense is really working well. You get a lot of Ryan Clark on back cuts, who opens up Whitman, Copeland, and DeCounter from the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan Clark is just one of those players. He's just tenacious cutting to the rim. He's always able to find open space. And again, the post-to-post passing for West Prairie, I mean, everybody on this team can pass the ball. Clark to counter, and obviously the ball handlers, Copeland, Whitman, and Olsen. But as you mentioned, when you're able to get those post-to-pass passes working for West Prairie, especially that the counter to Clark connection, it's just excellent for West Prairie, especially here tonight against Havana.
Free throw by Clark makes one of two. So again, largest lead by West Prairie at 15. The Ducks come back at it. Jones out to Stevens. Stevens one bounce and gives it out for Olsen. Caden Olsen goes up on Whitman, can't get it to go. Stevens had it for a second, and Matt Whitman corrals the rebound, takes off out of there over to Copeland. He'll drive lane on Oatman, spinning out to Whitman. Whitman three on the way. It's good! Sports corner three for Matt Whitman. And the lead is 18. Whitman another steal. And that's been the big drawback for Havana in this quarter, John. They have turned it over a lot.
Yeah, West Prairie has done an excellent job on the defensive end, being able to force a lot of turnovers. And, man, Whitman has really also come to life here in the 30s, up to 7 points now, looking for more.
And got it to go. Bangs that one in off the rim, and it's a 20-point lead, 50-30. The Cyclones leading the Ducks of Havana here. 2:36 left in the third. Let's take this time out on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
As we come back here, yes, John, my days of rec basketball are behind me. At 53, soon to be 54, I think I've put the old shoes up for the duration. And thank you, Mr. Brandon Clark, commenting in here. And of course, anybody else wants to make it. I don't check it as often as Dwayne does. I'm a little remiss over that, but if you want to drop in a line where you're listening to us or viewing us from, know we had some Havana folks, and glad we did. As Oatman dribbles, puts up a shot, and that's a big shot back by Havana, John, to get the momentum going maybe back their way a little bit.
Yeah, especially coming right out of the timeout there. West Prairie switched that screen action, and Oatman saw the counter sit in the paint. He put 2 feet kind of right around the middle of the paint, which was able to get that one floated up and in. Nice job there by Oatman, able to get Havana a couple points out of the timeout.
Copeland with it now out top. Cyclones work. Under 2 minutes left to go. And Copeland right down the lane, missed it. Rebound snapped up there by Jones, and here he comes on the fly. Out top, works for Olson, over to Turner, down to Oatman. Back to Turner, he'll work on Ruger Olson, looking at Foster, threw it and turned it over. Copeland on the run, and he's got 3 guys, so Jones going to give the personal. And what do they call that in the NBA? The breakaway foul, or what is that? I forget what that's called.
It's the transition take foul.
There you go.
Usually in the NBA, that would be 1 free throw in possession as well. Here in high school, no such thing.
Thank goodness. You can tell how much NBA I watch, folks.
And if you do that in the rec league, that's when you start having issues.
There you go.
I learned that out the hard way a couple times.
And now dribbling around, Eli to counter, working in the post. As Foster caused him trouble, took it away. Off to Olson, back to Foster, back to Olson. Here they come on the run. Over to Turner. Turner bouncing into Foster. Out to Willing. Over to Hopeman. 3 is up. No good. Clark the board. And Ryan Clark leads the charge right to Braden Copeland, who lost it. Clark got it back. Couldn't get it to go. Got it again. Out of trouble to Copeland. He'll put up a 3. A little long. Rebound tipped around and saved in, but to Havana. 40 seconds and counting, third quarter. 50-32 lead here for the Cyclones. Out to Olson, his shot way short. And on the rebound, Turner going to get the whistle as he came over the back of Ruger Olson. And that is the 5th team foul. We haven't even brought that up tonight, John. That tells you how quick and end-to-end the play's been.
Yeah, it was relatively clean in the first quarter as well. Foul starting to pile up here for Havana in the second half, and West Prairie with a little bit of foul trouble here to counter has 3. He'll come take a seat on the bench here for the final 33 seconds of the third quarter.
Ruger Olson misses the first, so it stays at 50-32. Second one on the way, it's good. 51-32, Ducks have 30 seconds to work. Foster over to Oatman. Oatman has Copeland jumping at him, over to Turner, a cross-court pass. And Ruger Olson matches him up, trying to get a pick from Foster. Turner goes lane, works, spins. Out it comes, and Caden Olson down the lane, fouled as he went through. He'll be up at the line to shoot 2. Jair Flora-Durham with the foul. 10 seconds left to go here. First one's good. Stevens will check in, replacing Foster for Havana. (51-33), second one is good as well. Pressure put on by the Ducks here on the inbounds. Copeland with it with 7 seconds left. Clock ticking, picked up by Willing. Nearly lost the handle on the dribble. Finds Whitman. Whitman shot on the way, no good. And that's the end of the third quarter of play. 51-34, the Cyclones in the lead. We'll step aside and thank our very fine sponsors on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by NDH.
Sometimes the best healing happens at home. MDH Home Healthcare provides skilled services to children or adults in need of nursing or therapy services. MDH Home Healthcare covers McDonough County and portions of Fulton, Hancock, Schuyler, and Warren counties. Specialized expertise in wound care, IV medication administration, medication teaching, and orthopedic care is available to patients in their own home. Visit MDH.org to learn more about home healthcare. The care you need, the comfort of home.
And welcome back here, 51-34, 17-point lead for the Cyclones as they get ready to head to the fourth quarter. Cyclones will have Ruger Olson, Braden Copeland, Matt Whitman, Eli DeCounter, and Ryan Clark. Not much of a guess there because that's pretty much who they stay with. Jair Flora-Durham makes some appearances. Cam Melvin once in a while will as well. Whitman to Eli DeCounter will get Havana's lineup when they go on offense. Over to Clark to Whitman. Whitman, quick three is up, no good. And Oatman with the rebound. He's got Turner with him. Also Foster, Willing, and Caden Olson. And Turner right up and right there for a quick lay-in.
Nice job there. Turner attacking in the fast break before the West Prairie defense was set up, was able to scoop that one up and in. And it was a nice find by Oatman as well.
And the way you attack this deficit is you set kind of a goal. Okay, by 7 minutes, as Braden Copeland dribbles the lane, bouncing to Clark. Missed it, rebound Whitman out of there with it. You say by the 6-minute mark, we want to have it down to 10. By the 4-minute mark, we want to have it down to 5. And you just chop it up into parts like that. As Turner trying to get it on Olson, threw it off the leg of Ryan Clark. And they're going to say it is West Prairie basketball. Copeland will trigger it inbounds on a box offensive set. DeCounter and Clark the bottom two. Olson and Whitman who gets it in. And through it, DeCounter trying to get it and bats it out of bounds. And in a way, you applaud Foster's hustle, but if he'd been a little better letting him knock it out or letting him touch it, so that would have been over. Well, I guess with it being an inbounds, it wouldn't have been. Take that back. And now Turner in the corner comes into Foster. Foster up with it in. Good. And a quick 4-0 burst by Havana cuts it down to 51-38.
And West Prairie's really got to slow things down here on the offensive end. We saw a turnover there just moments ago. And, again, just working quick into the shot clock like that, and you have a lead. You got to wonder if maybe West Prairie should take their time here on some of these offensive possessions.
And a foul as Ryan Clark got the rebound, and Ruger Olson, I believe, hit his head on the wall.
That's what they got the padding for, right?
There you go.
Looks like he's all right.
Jair Flora-Durham going to replace him. Ryan Clark brings it into the counter to Braden Copeland. Copeland, very nicely cut off there by Oatman. Shoots shot in the lane, gets it to go. That's a home rim. It's back to 15, up to Foster. Foster bouncing, a nice cut by Brooks, but off of his foot and out of bounds. Good defense there by Clark. 6:15 left to go here in the ball game. 53-38, 15-point lead. Copeland now on the far side, takes a few bounces. Looks at Clark, comes to Flora-Durham, over to Whitman. Whitman wheels it over to Clark. Back to the counter, over to Flora-Durham. Wheeling around. It looks like they're stalling, and that's a little bit of it, but also seeking backdoor cuts. Flora-Durham bounces out to Whitman, and they'll hold and wait. Over to Copeland. Copeland in the lane, goes up, won't get it to go. Got his own rebound, lost it, fight for it on the floor. And it'll be Havana with the basketball. I assume they went back to the review in New York to see who had possession of the fumble. Got to work an NFL joke in there somewhere, John.
At least it wasn't about the Bears. I could have seen that one coming.
There you go. Turner shot no good. And the rebound, Caden Olson chased it down. Willing able to grab a hold of it, out to Turner. Oatman, fake the three, goes lane, and he got a push. And I know Braden Copeland didn't think it was, but there was a reason that Oatman went the direction he did.
Yeah, I think it was clean up top for Copeland, but his offhand was kind of in the back of Oatman there on the drive.
Oatman will be at the free throw line. And the free throw, no good. And if you're making a comeback, these have got to go for you. And the reason I talk about breaking this quarter up in chunks here for Havana, who are very good three-point shooters, a lead can evaporate in a hurry. And now for the Cyclones, they need to take a little time. If you get a wide open look, you take the wide open look. But you got to work it around a little bit. No turnovers. Clark with it, nearly lost it. Turner gets it back. And here comes Willing. He's going to go in the lane, go up, and we're going to have a blocking foul on Clark.
And once again, Havana will go back to the line. And as you mentioned, Greg, scoring while the clock is off is going to be very beneficial for this Havana team down the stretch. And it's only a 14-point game. We still got just under 5 minutes to go. There's still a lot of time to work with for Havana, but got to capitalize on these free throws here. That's 1 for 2 in the past 2 trips to the line for the Ducks.
They'll try to make it 50%, but that's, as I say, that's one of those things with the Havana team that can, as a second one no good, Ryan Clark secures the board. So an 0 for 2 trip there is still 53-39. Whitman looking for the counter on a backdoor cut, found him. And a smart job when Caden Olson got up in the air. Eli DeCounter went up into him to put it up and drew the foul. Eli DeCounter will be up at the free throw line. And that's it. You always tell defenders, stay on the floor. Stay on the floor.
Yeah, because Olson really just kind of bailed DeCounter out there. He was kind of trapped in no man's land along the baseline, had no one to kick it to. He was going to have to shoot that either way, but again, as you mentioned, smart play by DeCounter. As soon as Olson went into the air, he just was able to draw that contact, and now he's going to get 2 chances at the line. He's already knocked down the first.
Second one on the way. It is good as well. So the Cyclones go up 55-39. And now 4.5 left to go in the game. Again, though, you got to be wary because the way Havana shoots threes, they can be dangerous. Foster going to set a screen for Turner. Turner and out for Willing. Willing probing the lane. He'll shoot shot. Won't get it to go. Got his own board. Out to Turner. Turner in the lane. Spinning. He'll shoot shot. Won't get it to go. And the counter's out of there with the rebound. And now it's time when you walk it up. We're getting under 4 minutes here left to go. If you have an open look, you take it. If not, you just work. Back cut, cut. Pass and cut. Pass and cut. Copeland holds on the far side, gives a look. Gets it out to Matt Whitman. Whitman over to Flora Durham. He'll bring it out to DeCounter. Cyclones eating up some time here. 3:40 left to go in the game and counting. Copeland out top as Oatman gives chase with him to Whitman. Just continuing to work. And at some point you hope that they get tired as DeCounter working them down. Got it! Yes! And it counts!
I'll tell you what, the couple times tonight that DeCounter has put his back to the basket like that, he has been hard to stop down low for the Havana Ducks. He scored a couple times in the first half, and again, just a nice possession there by West Prairie. He'll run almost a minute off the clock, and then DeCounter gets the N1.
And Foster has fouled out of the game, so the Ducks will talk it over. And John, we'll stay right here. That's one of those things. The Cyclones continue to do some smart things there with the basketball. And the University of Illinois was last year with Marcus Domask, used to call it bully ball. And you just back somebody down in the post and go to work on them. And that's what DeCounter did. He knew Foster had the 4 fouls. Make him challenge you. And that's what he did. So up right now to an 18-point lead. And Eli DeCounter can make it 19 here.
Again, the wheels have really kind of fallen off the tracks for Havana here in the second half. They played so well in that first quarter, and specifically in the second quarter, we were able to come back and draw things within one. But West Prairie came out at halftime. They just put the pedal to the metal in a sense, and really just have not looked back here. We only got 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth now.
And I think really those 3 steals and buckets right at the beginning of that second half, I said that time, really shifted the momentum.
It set the tone for sure on how this half was going to go for West Prairie.
Brooks with it out top, trying to get somebody to come to him. As Matt Whitman going to give the personal on Olson. Coach Ian Conklin saying, why foul? Don't foul. Stops the clock. Into Brooks. Brooks bringing it out. Looking for Oatman, gets it to him. Out to Willing, quickly over to Turner. Trying to find Oatman, and a good job by Braden Copeland to tap it away. Under 3 minutes left to go here, 2:53 to be exact. 58-39. Into Turner. Throws it in to Willing. Willing spinning on to counter, and Eli to counter going to give the personal.
And Eli's going to have 4 fouls now in this game.
And that's one of those, he put his hands straight, put his hands out instead of going up, straight up. We'll see, they'll put him up at the line. And Willing makes this one. (58-40). Second one is good as well. So 58-41. Matt Whitman just walking it up here. And Brooks is yelling at somebody to come guard Whitman. As Copeland out with it now. Clark holds, bounces a little bit. As Caden Olson on him, gets away from trouble. Comes to the counter waits, holds it, shakes a little bit. Heads to the post, double teamed. Tried to bounce it over to Clark. Clark out to Copeland, and he'll work it around. Down to Whitman. Whitman gave a look, had to counter for a second. To Clark. Clark waits and holds as Brooks works on him. Gets away, puts it up and puts it in. And John, that may be the knockout punch.
Yeah, just another long, lengthy possession there for the Cyclones that ends in a bucket, and that's exactly what you want down the stretch in a game where you have a lead in. And Clark has been terrific in this game. He's up to 19. He's closing in on Copeland, who leads the way with 20. So we're going to see Havana go back to the free throw line here late.
Flora Durham called for the block on the play. That is just his second. And free throw by Olson is good. Ruger Olson for the West Prairie comes in, replacing Jair Flora Durham, and then we'll have another substitution. Caleb McDaniel will check in, as will Oscar Jones. And Willing and Brooks will go out. Havana folks, I think you're seeing a little preview of what's to come next year. Free throw is no good, and Olson went across the line before it hit the rim. And so we'll have a timeout. Step aside here. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
Here at MDH, we provide one-on-one care to our patients. This allows them to feel supported and empowered during their labor process. The Tower of Power is a cart full of tools and resources to help support women during their labor experience. Items include massage therapy tools, aromatherapy, personal care items, music therapy, and features our labor menu.
We provide a celebratory dinner to each family to congratulate them on their new little one. We strive to create a safe and supportive environment where each mother's unique birth plan is respected.
Slide it back to make room for whatever you're storing. or pull it forward and use it as an additional full-depth shelf. Make room for ingredients of all sizes.
Back here as Havana trying to lock on a little pressure here. 60-42, while not out of the realm of possibility. Possibility is starting to put its coat on and get ready to leave the building. Whitman across the timeline, hands it off to Copeland. Copeland chased by Oatman. Had a backdoor cut to DeCounter, didn't go there. Out to Whitman. Whitman chased by Turner. To Clark, who tried to throw, and very lucky Ruger Olson was there. As Oscar Jones bothers him, and a foul by Caden Olson of Havana. Eli DeCounter will trigger in. Into Whitman. Whitman double team, trying to get away from trouble. Hands it off to Copeland. Copeland toward the bucket. And tried to bounce it to Clark, fight for it. And he'll stay with West Prairie as Caden Olson from Havana tips it out. Down to a minute 13. Copeland with it, back to DeCounter. DeCounter in the lane. Ruger Olson went to put it up and put it in. And so 62-42. 20-point leader, under a minute we go. Turner coming up, he'll drive in, missed it. Rebound, Ruger Olson out. And Clark will hand it off to Whitman. As Jones will match him up in the backcourt. Matt Whitman. Hands off to Copeland with 40 seconds left as they tick it down. Oatman trying to find a way to get it. And Turner will give the foul, so we will shoot some free throws here.
Copeland just trying to add on to his 20-point mark in this game. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, these free throws are pretty inconsequential with a 20-point lead and 34 seconds to go, but looks better in the stat sheet, I suppose.
And Copeland hits the first, makes it 63-42. 21 on the night for Braden Copeland. Second one's good as well. So 64-42. They'll bring it into Turner. Turner will walk it up here as we count down under 30 seconds left to go. Off to Jones. Jones down the lane. And he'll bounce out to McDaniel. Turner looking for somebody. Finds Caden Olson. As they find Oatman. Oatman bobbled the ball, lost it. Puts it up, puts it in for the Ducks. And the Cyclones will just work it up here. They will have to get it past half court. And Matt Whitman does, and that is going to run it out here as the Cyclones flipping the coin. Winning here by 20, 64-44 over the Ducks of Havana. Good night for the Cyclones as they looked pretty tough end to end in this one. Some final thoughts from you, John?
Yeah, as you mentioned, just really flipping the tables from the performance that they had last night against Southeastern. You can see when the Cyclones team is really able to get going and shots are falling, these are the type of games that they can have. I mean, this is a pretty tough Havana squad that they played here tonight. They did a good job of handling them, and really I think a lot of it started on the defensive end, especially in the second half. As we talked about right at the start of the third quarter, the Cyclones were able to get a couple key takeaways and buckets on the other end, and that really just set the tone for the remainder of the game. And West Prairie built up their lead, and Havana just wasn't able to close the gap.
Well, and that was in a quick game nonetheless. I mean, boy, that seemed like it really end-to-end, back and forth. That a big confidence booster for the Cyclones here. Got to be, as they head to, I was talking to Mr. Finch earlier, probably barreling in on the last month of the season, as regionals usually toward the end or the mid or the late end of February. Girls about a couple of weeks away, so the basketball season starting to come to a close, and got to be playing your best at this time of year, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And West Prairie, as we mentioned, really put on a good performance here tonight, and with the postseason starting to come up, getting these nice performances down the stretch, getting a couple wins, getting some momentum rolling into that is always big.
All right, for Mr. John Burton, this has been TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.